G'day guys, welcome back to part 2 of the motor build. In this episode we'll be finishing off the TD, chucking it in and getting it running. Come have a look.
No. So I'll just be cleaning up the top of the block here, getting ready to put the head in. I'll smack the dowels back in, wherever they go, I'll work that out. And then I'll, clean it up, get the head gasket on there, clean the head up and put that on there, and then try and work out these ARP head studs. So I might even be able to screw one in and then just so it helps locate onto the dowels, or I'll work it out and I'll show you as I go. So put the head gasket on. Just put a bit of oil in here and just run it around so it didn't rust. We've got a grade 3, so it's the thickest one, so that'll be good. Got the dowels in, all cleaned up, and yeah, now we'll plonk the head on. Got the ARP studs here. Putting them in, I've just tested this one and I've just got the verniers wherever I've put them. Yeah, I've got them set up just so that's the measurement there that I'm going to do on all of them, just to get them roughly. So that's how much we're going to need for the washer and nut. So it doesn't feel right because they're not the correct length and they don't bottom out, which feels wrong. But I've watched a couple of videos and that because I was a bit, worried, but they're all the way in, and I guess that's all we can do. A heap of people use them, so I'll do them down. I'll do the first tension and see how we go. I'm pretty sure we got to notch this one and this one, like the rocker arm. So I'll put them all in and I'll do the tension, and then I'll let you know. So I'll pick it up when I've got them all in. I've just got all the studs in, all the washers on, and I've set them all to wound them back out to all to this height here. That's like roughly the height I got from doing one of them, and I was going to sit it the stud flush with it, so that one's actually a little bit under, but I'll wind that back out when I first tighten it a bit. So yeah, I'm still like, it doesn't feel right winding them back out, but I guess the head bolt doesn't bottom out anyway, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Heaps of people have run it, so as I said before. So yeah, now I'll get these all down with the Allen key. I'll hold them so they don't wind in, and then I'll show you when they're all down. I've got them all sitting down nice and flush. So yeah, now I've just gone around with that and just sort of nipped them a little bit to make sure that the stud isn't going to spin when I torque them. I was a bit worried about that, so now that I've got them on there and it turns and it tightens them, they should be good, so they're not spinning. Alrighty, so I've just torqued these down. I just went to, what was that one just then? I think 150 newton meters, so I'll do another one. I'm pretty sure I've read up that it's 170 is the go for if you're running a bit more boost, so I'll do that in the morning. I'll just let it sit, and then in the morning I'll give them another run over in the pattern. So I've just been doing that sort of pattern. It's backwards, but you know what I mean. Long story short, I wish someone told me this before, but no washers on this one and this one. I'm not too sure about these. I've had mixed people say stuff about these, so I'll leave these ones and I will let you know in a bit, but I'll undo these ones, or that one and this one. So undo that, take the washer off, wind the stud down and make sure the stud's a little bit below the head of that, and then I'll check for clearance on the rocker And yeah, then I'll still have to take a little bit out of that, don't get me wrong. I'll be doing that to fit it, but I'll see if clearance wise on these, if it's going to be too close, I'll just take the washer off. It'll be a lot safer, but yeah, I'll just do that now and I'll show you. Alright, so I've done that one, took the washer out, torqued that back down. That one's flush, same as this one. So I did just individual one at a time. That's flush now, so it's actually pretty much almost sitting down enough, but I just don't want it to be touching these. So I'll take a little bit out of the bottom of the two end ones, and that should get it to clamp down enough onto there, and I'll fit 10 foul feeler gauge under there. That's sort of the clearance I want under there, at least that, more maybe, but yeah. And then on these ones, I'll more than likely take the washers off, because the nut is a big flare nut, so the washer isn't a whole lot bigger if you look at it, so it'll be fine. I've just been putting a heap of this assembly grease on there, the stuff that it comes with, so I'll put a heap of that on the bottom of the nut just so it spins fine when I'm torquing it. But apart from that, I'm sure it'll be fine. A lot of people have done it by taking all these out. I'm just lucky I haven't had to cut the bolts. A few people I've heard have had to cut the bolts, which I'm glad mine doesn't do that. They go in enough, so that's the plan anyway. Alrighty, so I've just removed this off the rocker assembly, and as you can see, it's pretty much like gonna work. So now that I've got it off, I can take a bit off the bottom there, and it won't need much, and then it'll be fine. So I'll just do that now and I'll show you that. It's like what it looks like before I stuff it up. I'll show you after. So I've just cleaned that up, and yeah, that's what we've got. We've got a heap of clearance there now. Probably went a little bit much if anything, but it's not too bad. I'll just give that a little bit of a emery in here now and try and take off the sharp edge. But that's what that's what it looks like. Heaps of clearance. I'll do that to the back one now as well, and slap it back together, and then we can put that on. Put all the push rods in, put the rocker assembly on, give it all a quick oil up before we put all that on, and then we can do this front thermostat housing, and then rocket cover. So I have that at home, but I'm painting that at the moment, so that won't go on until that's done. But yeah, so excited. So the rocker's all done. I've cleaned all that out. I've sprayed heaps of brake cleaner down all these holes and blew it out, and then gone like that. And there's a hole somewhere. I'll find one. You know what I mean. There's a hole there somewhere, and I blew it all out, brake cleaned it, blew it out, brake cleaned it like a million times. So now I'm going to shove these in. When I pulled these out, I put them in order. You don't have to. A lot of people don't care. They just slap them in. I just reckon it's better if they go back where they came from. It's literal personal preference, but I've numbered all them. Along with all the cam followers, they went back exactly where they came from. So pull all these out, clean them all, and I'll put some oil on them and slap them in. Got the rocker assembly on. It's all loosely on there, just nipped it down a little bit. They're still finger tight, and I'll just crack all these and back them off so I can tighten these down properly so it doesn't push a valve somewhere it shouldn't go. So I'll just do that now. The rocker assembly on. We've done all the tappet settings as well, so turned it over, did all the tappet settings. I think we did to 13 foul because it's cold, so I'll have to do it. I'll run it for 1,000 Ks, change the oil, do the tappets and all that sort of thing, treat it nicely. So yeah, but that's all done for now. So I've got to go home, paint the rocker cover so I can get that on. Just tighten up the fuel pump. It's sort of roughly in the middle, a little bit advanced. I'll have to play with that a bit when it's running. Supposed to use a dial gauge in that, but you know, one of them things. See how you go. I might try and do the dial gauge, but there's no, on the Ross balancer, there's no timing marked for TDC, so be a bit hard. We've just got the thermostat and the thermostat housing, the top one, so that's pretty much the motor complete, apart from the rocker cover and the manifolds. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that progress. That's awesome. Got to get the speed tacho thing in there as well, but yeah, and I've got to put a couple of bungs in here from where the alternator was, and then I'll pick up an oil feed there for me turbo, so that'll be awesome. But for now, that's gonna call it for tonight anyway. I'll pick it back up tomorrow. Alright, so it's Friday morning before work. This is what's going in on the weekend. I'm just grabbing some parts for the motor so I can close it all up before I bring it home. So I've got to grab injector lines so I can clean them up. I've got to grab the turbo, exhaust manifold, intake manifold, injectors, glow plugs, all that sort of stuff. So, and then the rocker covers there, so then that way it can be all covered up and I can just cover up the turbo and the intake manifold instead of every individual hole. So I'll grab all that now, chuck it in the ute, and head down to work. Alrighty, so I've got aircon bracket, all the alternator bracket and lifting brackets, all cleaning all them up now, blowing them off with brake cleaner and painting them all in primer, and then I've got another black can there. I'll do all them in after they had all dries. So a lot going on. I was like, I'll probably do it all at home, but I've ended up just bringing it all in, and I'll do it tonight here. That way it's not open, and I've brought all my injectors, so I've got the new injectors, glow plugs, and I've got to modify the glow plug rail, so worst case I'll have to make a new glow plug rail, or don't know how it works, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they hit on the head studs. So anyway, I brought my intake manifold. I'll clean all that up and get all that on with the new gaskets and everything, and I got new oil filters, so I'll put them on. Dylan's getting the banjo bolt, as I've said, and then we're going to play with the timing on the pump, get it rough with the dial gauge, and Brad's got to bracket the bolts on the back here, so we'll get that roughly in spec, and I'll play with it when it's running anyway and make sure it's all good. But yeah, I'll get stuck into just finishing off some of these brackets. I won't probably show you that because you've seen enough of it, but I'll get stuck into cleaning all these up and I'll show you when they're all on there. Alright, so I've just primed that. It's looking pretty good, so now I'll just get some red on it. This is the colour, so same as the bloody Patrol. Alright, so that's it, red. That's first coat. I'll obviously do a few more coats, but yeah, for now that's what it looks like. I'll let it dry and then I'll give it another coat. So I'm just setting up these oil feeds. So that's going to be my oil feed for the turbo, where the alternator used to get oil pressure from, oil feed. That was the oil drain, so I've just put a bung back in that off one of the other black tops, and yeah, put this in here, and then I'll put my new studs in for the turbo, and I'll put the turbo one on with all the new gaskets, and yeah, I'll run the oil feed, and then I can run the oil drain back down to here, and that'll be this side done until it gets in the car. So I'll do that now. I've got to put engine mounts on, but they're at home, so I'll do that later. A bit of oil on the seal, and now I'll put it on here. I might need two hands, but yeah. So that'll work good. Plug will go on there, and then the oil pressure sender will be there, so that's good. I'll do this other one now, and that'll keep the shit out of there. So I've just cleaned that up a bit under there. I'll go give it a quick pressure clean. Should come up alright, and then I'll give it brake clean on a rag over that nice top bit, and then new gasket and put it on. Just put a bit of rubber grease on that and on the back side of this gasket. It's a metal gasket, it's just a bit of something else. So now I can put this manifold on. I'll just sit the camera down. Actually, no, I'll do it full send. One-handed, that's crazy. Alright, we're good. Damn. Alright, I do need two hands. Just pulled out all the old studs. Be putting in these new ones, titanium, so go hit them up if you want some. That's them, they work, they're the 55mm ones. They work with the Radius Fab high merge, so you can run the nuts and washers. Where's the washer? So you can run the washer and the nuts, so that is going to look nice. I'll get them on there now and I'll show you it. Alright, so I just get that and I put just a dab of anti-seize on it. I'll spread it out, but then yeah, I've been putting them in there. The Allen key and just nipping it, and then that'll be fine. So I've just put all these studs in. I'm just doing them up now. I've put a bit of anti-seize on all of them, So that should stop them from rusting or anything. They shouldn't anyway because they're titanium, but I'll just send them in there and then I'll be able to put the turbo on. Sorry for the noise in the background, but yeah, I'm just cleaning up this manifold now. I've done all the face of it, checked it with a flat straight edge. We've got a nice straight edge there and it's all good. It's a little bit out on this end one, but I'm hoping when it pulls up it should be fine. It's literally like not even a mil. But yeah, so I'll just finish cleaning up the bottom of this and then I'll paint it with some high temp paint. And yeah, don't come at me, I know it's going to burn off, but yeah, the plan is just to make it look good for some photos and that when it goes in. And yeah, if it burns off, it burns off. It doesn't really matter. It's a exhaust manifold, they all get rusty, so I'll clean this up and give it a quick paint and then I can get it on. Alright, so I've got the paint here. It only says 288, so it won't last long at all because EGT will be a lot hotter than that. But yeah, I'll shake this up, give that a quick paint. It's the boys loading the backhoe. So yeah, I'll give that a quick paint and then, as I said, we can slap it on. I've just got these studs and nuts on and the washers, they're all on, all looks fresh, gives it a bit of bling, and the rocker cover will be going on soon. It's just drying, so it's looking good. Getting keen now, put the turbo on, do the drains, and then we can take it home. Alrighty, this is majority of the stuff I used, that on some spots as well, on like the fuel pump cover and that, but this stuff's really good stuff, so if you're going to do it, I recommend using that on all the little bits and pieces. Just, yeah, it's expensive, but it's good. So, got all this turbo on, oil feeds hooked up. I'll be hooking that up with some like, what's called hydraulic wrap around the dump. And then I'll just cable tie it to there, so it's out the way. Same as this boost line. But, yeah, everything's pretty much done. I've got to do injector lines. I'll get some caps now and put on there for the way home. Put the rock cover on. I had to bend this glow plug rail. I'll show you all that when I get home, but for now, that's pretty much it. Rocker cover is just drying now in the sun. Friday Arvo, so we'll be putting the toolbox on to take home. TD is pretty much done, so we'll be chucking that in the middle here and just sitting it in between the two boxes and just trying to protect it a bit. So I'll get this box up on there and then use the forklift to get the motor on. Got the TD on the back, looking real good. Put the oil cap in it just to make sure nothing gets in there. So yeah, we'll take it home and back it in the shed and take it off tomorrow when we're getting ready to put it in. So stay tuned for that. So I'm just dismantling these injector lines because they're pretty crusty. They got painted over when the motor was out last time. I just painted everything black. This time I'm doing it properly, so pulling them all apart, I'm going to clean them all up like I've done with this one. Cleaned it all up with the wire wheel and I'm putting primer on it, and then I'll be painting them red. So wherever the red can is, it's over there somewhere, but the same stuff I painted the rocker cover with. So cleaning all this up and painting them red. It'll probably chip off eventually, but for now, if I just be nice with them when I put them on, they'll look pretty cool, I reckon. Alright, so that's what it comes up like after I've wire wheeled it. I'd leave it like that, but it's not perfect. You can only see, but not that it matters. I guess at the end of the day, it is a TD42 injector line, but yeah, I may as well just clean it up and paint them. So I'll do the rest of them and show you when they've got some colour on them. Turns out you don't have to bend the glow plug rail. I just put it on backwards, so don't worry about that. But yeah, got the drip rail on there, nice and red. Injector lines will be red as well. So Dylan's just cleaning up the nuts because I forgot to paint them, so we'll just clean them up and put them on there. And then we'll do the red injector lines. I clean up all the brackets, so we'll put the brackets and that on, and then yeah, we'll hopefully get it ready to get in. We'll get the clutch on as well, sort out all these engine mounts and that, so get stuck into it. Alright, and just for a little tip, I kept the old washers and put them on the top of this rail, so when you tighten it, it spins onto the washer and it doesn't try and twist this, because what happens a lot is when you just put the nut straight on that, it twists and then it cracks here and here and that. So if you have another washer on there, so I've got the new one there, my old one there, and then that way it can tighten up on there and it won't twist it and crack it and make it leak. So quick little tip as well. Oh, how fresh. Alright, so I've just got these genuine GU engine mounts, so I'll just slap these on here now. We're going to do the clutch and then we'll probably leave it for tonight and then we'll chuck it in tomorrow. We've got to do a couple of little things in the engine bay, like P-clamping some stuff up and that, and yeah, get it in tomorrow, I reckon, after work. So what do you reckon?
Yeah.
Alright, so this is the new braided line, the oil feed line for the vac pump. So long story short, I couldn't find a banjo for this one here, and this is like a turbo oil feed one that screws into here, and then I've ended up just getting one of these made up. Dylan went and got that for me today.
From Pertec? From
Pertec, and got a 90-degree fitting here, and then I had this left over from the turbo kit, so that one went in there, and then I'll run this up here and then P-clamp it where it usually goes there and to there. So it's, yeah, it's not the hard line like it usually is, but it'll do the same thing and it's flexible, so won't crack or anything.
Take two and action. Good?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're just going to chuck the TD in.
Quick hiccup, the forklift tyre has gone flat again for the second time in 20 minutes. Forklift lifting a forklift motor, look at that.
Oh.
2 hours later.
Hopefully that one starts quicker than that.
Jack this box off. Alright, cut. Alright, so red jack, red car, that's all it matters.
That's it.
Nah, so we've got it roughly, we just need I've got a strap holding the gearbox up, so now I've got it sort of where we want it. We'll put some blocks under the jack and then we can jack up and down the gearbox so we can line it up and make it go in, so yeah. Oh, this side doesn't look that bad, Russell. You got a bolt for me? Hey, can I like... Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'd rather you put your foot on that. What about on your...
What's going on?
to get that.
Oh, where'd it go? Oh, shit. Oh, Buzzy's got it. Oh, no. Alright, so just quickly, it's a Tuesday after work. Last night the boys came around, Dylan and Jacko, we got the engine in, got the engine mounts and all the bell housing bolts bolted up. So now I'm just going to be hooking up the aircon that's dangling down. I've got a brand new alternator off a GU turbo one. That's going to go on, and then I'll just like slowly start putting stuff on and Isaac's going to come around on the weekend and finish off some wiring. So this all should be all nice and neat and done. I got to get some P-clamps for that. But yeah, waiting on an air filter and fuel filter and stuff like that. So then we can, I could probably put intercooler piping on, and I'll put a bit of blanket stuff over that as well. Over the turbo, I'll put a cover over that. But for now, it'll just be slowly hooking up stuff like oil pressure sensors and fuel lines and just the usual stuff. So I'll pick it back up when I've got the alternator on. Alright, so I've just bolted up the aircon. It doesn't look pretty, but fuck, the aircon's good to have. And I've just taped up that there like that and just gave that a quick paint over the number because it was bare metal, so I didn't want it to rust. So it will have paint on it and you can't really read it, but it'd be good to wipe off and if I ever need it. So that's that. I also took a photo of it. So I'll get this alternator in and then I can start tidying some of these up and running these all properly and get this out the way, and I can put this intercooler pipe in and stuff like that. So alright, so next day after work, exhaust, we got that on last night. That's all done now. Got clearance everywhere, so it shouldn't rattle, which will be good. I've already said about alternator and aircon, so now I'm going to do the shit job and do the starter motor. So then when Isaac comes, we can run the cable to that. And then got to get a oil pressure gauge for here, like sender. Because I got the gauge, I just don't know where I put the sender, so I've got to get another sender. And then I can do power steering and put all that brackets and that on. I got a new power steering pump that's been rebuilt over there. So I'll get stuck into doing some of these fiddly jobs. Alright, so another thing, if you change your front cover to a blacktop one, even the power steering bracket doesn't fit. I don't know why they changed it. I think it was because of the vac pump or something. I don't know, but that doesn't fit either, so that's great. Learning as we go. I'm suffering, but be good for the next person. So apparently these are different, they reckon. Oh no, that's a silver top. Hang on. This one here, black top. Yep, it's only got 3 bolts. What the heck? It's a Friday arvo, got home from work. We'll finish hooking up this TD. Air filter came, I got a new air filter there. I'll oil that up, put that in. Can put intercooler piping in. Only thing is I'll have to leave the radiator out so we can finish off some of this wiring. Isaac's coming on Sunday. What else have we got? Dylan got me an oil sender for the gauge, so I can put that in. Power steering's in. Just got to put belts and that on, but I'll just do that after when I put the radiator in. I got a new fuel filter I can put in as well. And that's most of the things. I'll need someone to help me bleed the clutch up. I'll get that done as well. And then pretty much just wiring stuff really. Bits and pieces everywhere that just need tidying up. And then if it's running, I've got to put oil in it as well, that's important. And then once it's running, I'll just drive back and around and out here and that, and then I'll bring it back in, tighten everything on the ground, because all the bushes and everything's still loose, because I didn't want to pinch them and not do it properly. But that's pretty much that. So what I've ended up doing is I'm starting to make this vacuum line for the brakes. So that little thing with the yellow cap on it down there is the vacuum pump, and it's got to get just to that brake booster there. You're supposed to have a canister. I'm going to run it without it, see how it goes. If I run out of vacuum and the brakes fade away after a bit, I'll probably add the canister back in there somewhere, but I'll do that later. For now, I've cut this up, which is the hard line that goes from this side to that side on the silver tops. Well, actually on all of them, because they run back across there and then around anyway. So this I'm going to run that way, like this, up under there, and I'll P-clamp it to some bolts on the block, and that'll kick up over there on the other side of that. It's pretty much kicks up down there where that spiral thing is, and it comes up, and it'll come up through there behind this fuel filter and straight to there, which will work good. So then I only need a little bit of vacuum line, which I've got some there. and that should be that sorted. So I'll do this now so I don't get too keen when it's done and go for a drive without brakes, or without vacuum. Still have brakes, but you know what I mean. Alright, so I got the intercooler off and I just cleaned it out. I flushed it through with petrol because, long story short, I had one of these air filters and it came with my airbox and that, and didn't actually know it was supposed to be oiled. So you can imagine that. I was running it and yeah, it was a bit of dust and stuff getting through. So they're supposed to be a good filter, but I just didn't know you were supposed to oil them. So cleaned all that out now. Got a new filter and I've got some foam oil there. I'll be putting on the new one, wherever the new one is. I think it's in the ute. And yeah, so I've got stuff drying. The radiator's all cleaned and flushed and that's drying now. And yeah, I got to go shoot to town tomorrow, get some wiring lugs and stuff here. Isaac's coming up tomorrow to finish off the wiring, do the engine harness and make it all nice. And then once he's done, I can go in and slap all the fan, belts, radiator. So I'll go get coolant and that tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be able to start it up. I'm going to run Toyota Long Life in this as well, the pink stuff. So that'd be awesome. And then yeah, once Isaac's here, we'll crank it, make sure it's all good. And then I can hopefully put the guard on, bonnet, and yeah, see if it's gonna do nice things and run. And yeah, I got the oil pressure wherever it is here, and some backline. Cheers, Dylan. And a new one of these because one of my ones is got a little nick in it here, and I just want to be safe, so I'll do that. But yeah, it's coming along. So after a long process of cleaning this intercooler out, because there was a bit of stuff in there, so my old air filter, as I said, must have been letting some through. So cleaned all that. It's all nice and clean in there now. Can't really get it any cleaner. So it's all dried out, and I'll put it up in there and yeah, put it back on. I've just removed the booster. It was good. I don't even have to uncrack the brake line, so I don't have to bleed the brakes again. Isaac's going to finish wiring this up now, and I'll try and get this boot out. But yeah, then we'll just put it back in there, silicone around all of that, and stop the noise, hopefully. Alright, so Isaac's working away. We're got the booster out, so Isaac's just going to finish taping this up down here, and then I can put the booster in upside down, and then run the vac line from here. Starter cables ran, all this is all neatly ran, boost lines there, aftermarket harnesses down there. Yeah, this is running over to here. Just got to finish up that part of the harness, put that in a nice thing, P-clamp it there. So yeah, it's coming along, it's looking good. Jack and I just bled up the clutch. And he's adjusted the free play on that. So, because I had it horrible, wasn't adjusted, but yeah, getting there. Mounted this bit of agricultural rubber over this. Agricultural rubber I found in the paddock. But yeah, so that, yeah, well, we're on the farm, so it's a good way. But yeah, so when the water runs out, it doesn't run straight on there, and the guard will hold that in. So that's fine. But yeah, it's coming along. Alright, oh, we can't see with that light. Alright, just putting final touches in. Alright, TD is pretty much in. Got oil in it, just gotta bleed up the fuel, but we'll just crank it, get oil pressure to everything first. But yeah, everything's in. Don't mind that, but yeah, just the last bits now. Oh fuck. Did you do that lap also? Cut! So you go up. Alright, TD's in and it's running. So this morning we'll be going over everything. It's got all its new rad hoses on. I've just got some distilled water in it at the moment. We'll just be running it. And yeah, we'll see how it's going to go. But we'll flush that out and put some Toyota coolant in it in a bit. But yeah, we'll just go over everything, make sure all the fuel lines are tight, everything's going to work. We've got to bleed the clutch up again. Yeah, let's just go over it, make sure everything's good. make sure the oil feeds are working and everything. And yeah, it had oil pressure last night, like pretty quickly, so we cranked it till it got oil pressure up, cranked it to oil pressure in the turbo and everything. So yeah, it's pretty good. It was pretty exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time, but got it all in. And yeah, now this morning we'll just chuck the guard on it, put the grill on, we'll adjust the bonnet and everything. Alright, so just got the block drain out and just flushed all the water out, and now we're putting in the fresh coolant, Toyota coolant, so get stuck into that. Just some Nissan coolant.
Alright, so we're just going to be starting the TD, battery's flat as usual. Jackson from Excedo sent me out this jump starter pack with a LED light, so I'll be using that to start the TD. So I'll get this on and I'll start her up. So that's hooked up, I'll crank her over. Thanks again to Jackson from Excedo. He's been kind enough to send me out this jumpstart pack for trial. If you want to get yourself one, head down to the link in the description, use WaitWhat15 at checkout, and you get yourself one.
Big girl's finally running, so giving her a wash now, and yeah, pretty excited to drive it. So for everyone that stayed this far, I really appreciate it, and if you could give us a like and a subscribe, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.